Hi, my name is Ruth Spiegel, and I am excited to share with you a little bit about my journey in worship and just what the Lord has been revealing to me over the last few weeks. So, just 2 weeks ago, my sister and her husband and their two girls and their dog moved into my house, and so we have 9 people because I have 2 boys and a husband and a dog. So we have 9 people and 2 dogs living under the same roof, and it has been crazy and it's been fun. But so a month ago they had sold their house and they needed a place to stay, and they had been looking and nothing was really working out. So they said, "Can we live with you?" And I said, "Sure. I love you guys, and I'm super close with my sister. She's my best friend." And so it was like a no-brainer. Come on in. And so we were super excited, getting ready for it. And then she came back to me a couple weeks later and said, "Actually, we found some property that we feel like the Lord is telling us to build a house. So could we stay with you for a year?" And I was like, "Yeah." And on the inside, I was like panicking and felt super anxious. And I didn't really understand why. Because like I said, my sister and I are super close. We do everything together. And so I was kind of like, okay, yes, you can stay. But I was thinking, you know what? Probably I have to talk to my husband about it. And he's probably not going to say yes to this, but he was overjoyed at the thought of it, thought it would be a great idea. And so I began to think of ways that it wasn't going to work out. Reasons why it probably shouldn't happen. And so they came to measure and to see if their girls' beds would fit. And I just, was kind of like, oh, I don't know, and feeling anxious while they were here. And I was just like, man, I don't understand this. So I began to pray about it and ask the Lord, what's going on? And so he began to remind me of a word that he had given me a few years ago. And it was that many of us have rooms that we aren't letting people into. So we're not being completely real and being authentic. And so I know personally that I struggle with vulnerability and sharing what's going on inside my heart. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. So I realized that, for a few weeks or a month, you can kind of, put on a good show and you can be happy and have a lot of fun, but being in the same space with someone for a year, it's gonna get real. So I knew that I was going to have to open up every room in my house to them and every part of my life to them. She would see all my strengths and all my weaknesses as a mom and as a wife. And there was some kind of pride that was rising up in me that if I didn't do something wrong, what would happen? And as I began to think about my sister and who she was, the worst thing that would happen is that she would encourage me and that she would show me a better way. If there was something I was struggling with, she would help me. She wouldn't judge me. And so I realized that there was still some insecurity and pride that I had to kind of deal with. And so I felt the Lord begin to say, you know what? It's time. It's time to open up those rooms in your home and in your heart. He was inviting me to the secret place where he formed me and where he could restore me. And so that's just what I wanted to talk about today. Sometimes we don't want to go to the secret place because we're afraid that there will be judgment or the process of restoration will hurt too much. But true worship, true authentic worship comes from the secret place, from that place of surrender where it's only you and Jesus. So my prayer has been, and my song has been over the last few weeks, that God would just take me to the secret place where it's only me and Jesus. And so as I continued to pray about just restoration and being restored, he took me to some verses about the secret place. So Psalm 25:10 says, "There is a private place reserved for the lovers of God, where they can sit near him and receive the revelation secrets of his promises." Psalm 139:15 says, "You even formed every bone in my body when you created me in the secret place, skillfully shaping me from nothing to something." And Psalm 32:7 says, "Lord, you are my secret hiding place, protecting me from these troubles, surrounding me with songs of gladness. Your joyous shouts of rescue release my breakthrough." And the last one that he showed me was, "In his shelter in the day of trouble, that's where he'll find me, for he hides me there in his holiness. He has smuggled me into the secret place where I'm kept safe and secure, out of reach from all of my enemies. So guys, this is what's so exciting to me, that in the secret place, that where we were created, that's where we were created, that's where we were formed, that's where we were shaped and gifted. And in the secret place, we have protection, we have joy, we have breakthrough, we have safety, we have restoration. These are all of the things that God promises us. In the secret place, we can just be with our Father. And it's not just about what we get from him. It's about what we can give in those places where he is revealing more of who he is to us. So pure, authentic worship is born out of the secret place. We have to be there. We have to be there, spending time abiding with him, opening those rooms in our hearts that we've shut off because we think that they're too messy. But that's what Jesus wants. He wants messy vulnerability. And I would say that if we're not worshiping from the secret place, that our worship on the platform is going to be stale and it's going to be surface level at best. And this isn't a condemnation. This is an invitation. God is saying, here I am, abide with me. Let me show you more of my glory. Let me fill you up so that you can overflow with goodness and love and restoration and reflect more of who he is. We were created to worship. We were created to create. We were created to be his children and invited to sit with him in the secret place. So let me pray for you today. Father, I just thank you that you are always pursuing us, that you're always inviting us to rest in you, to rest in the shadow of your wing, that you keep us safe there, God. And I pray today that you would just remind us that you are wooing us, that you are calling us back to that place, back to that time where it's only you and me, God. I pray today that we would find new life in the secret place, that we would find more revelation in the secret place, God, that you would take us deeper than we've ever gone before. We thank you for your goodness and your faithfulness. In your name I pray. Amen. Well, thank you for letting me spend some time with you and just share my journey. Have a great day.